Welcome to Ninh Binh, Vietnam, a hidden gem often called Halong Bay on land.
Today we're embarking on an adventure through some of the most breathtaking spots this province has to offer.
We'll be taking a scenic boat ride through a UNESCO World Heritage Site called Trang An, stepping back in time by visiting the ancient capital of Vietnam and ascending to an incredible viewpoint to admire Ninh Binh from above.
So join us as we hike, boat and bike our way through the northern countryside and try to avoid some of the locals on the way. Don't forget to like, subscribe and hit the bell icon for more travel adventures.
Good morning from Ninh Binh. So we're here to explore Ninh Binh over the next few days, and today we are in Trang An, so we're about to get a boat. The boat has multiple different routes, so it's got about 3 different routes that you can choose from. We've been recommended that we choose route 3, but basically all the different routes have different things that you can see along the way. So some have more caves, some have more temples and that sort of thing. So today we're going to do route 3 on the boat, so let's take you with us.
It was really easy to get our tickets for the boat, and it cost 250,000 dong per person regardless of which route you wanted to do. You also have the option to pay on card, which was really good, and they give you a map showing what's included in each route. The whole setup was really well organised, and it's only when you reach the boat wharf that you pick which route you want to do.
Did you want to stick with route 3?
3 please. 3, yes please. Thank you. Alright, so basically we're sat down and we're waiting for 2 more people to join our boat now, and then if they join we'll start route 3, so it has to fill up 4 people on the boat. So luckily there's me and Sarah, so we're just waiting for another couple really, and then we'll get started.
It didn't take long for them to find 2 more people to fill up the boat, and shortly after starting the trip we were already blown away by how impressive the scenery was. Within 15 minutes of departing, we reached our first stop, and not only were we greeted by intricate statues of fish, but as we docked we noticed huge carp in the water too.
Your turn. It's really hard. You're good?
Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you. So this is the first stop that we've done on route 3, and we stopped at a really cool temple, and as we was pulling up there was loads of like huge, were they like carp?
They looked a bit like that, didn't they?
Yeah, I think they were carp, and there's loads of statues of carp and stuff there, so yeah, it's really cool so far. And we're at a temple now, so pretty cool.
We spent time admiring this temple known as Trinh Temple, and many Vietnamese people believe that this is actually one of the most sacred temples in the country. Trinh Temple is also thought to have existed for over 1,000 years and has been restored numerous times.
You're not allowed to film in there, so we can't show you in there, but it's really cool, and our driver's just waiting for us now while we explore. I think the whole experience is about 3 hours or so, so we've got a good few stops left, but this is just the first stop.
The second place we visited was the most exciting part of the trip. This is Dot Cave, a cave within Trang An that's a staggering 1 kilometre long. If you're claustrophobic, then this might not be for you, as it involved a lot of dodging and ducking to avoid the roof of the cave.
Oh yeah, that's a big one. Definitely need to do it. Right, I think we're coming into a huge opening, aren't we? Wow. Oh, it's a lot cooler in here.
Much cooler.
That's so cool. Yeah. Oh, we made it. That was cool. We made it through the cave into the end. Wow, look at that. That looks incredible. It does look like King Kong scenery, doesn't it? Raining, which we thought was going to happen with the thunder, but it almost makes the scenery look cooler, and with these hats we've got nothing to worry about.
We needed more than just our hats as the weather only got worse. However, we weren't too far from the end of the trip and the driver of the boat gave us umbrellas to shelter under. This trip was an incredible start to our Ninh Binh adventure, and after some rest we were eager to explore more the following morning.
Today we're off to the ancient capital of Vietnam.
So the absolute best way to get around Ninh Binh is to hire a moped. Basically it's so rural, especially in the area that we're staying, that you really need a moped. You'd be cycling for ages if you had a cycle, but a moped is the best way to get around.
Our motorbike hire was just £5 for the whole day, and in an area as remote and rural as Ninh Binh, it's a very convenient and inexpensive way to get around. We drove past some beautiful scenery before finding somewhere to park close to the ancient capital city.
So we have just parked up our bike. The ancient capital is just that way, but the parking was free, which you've got to question because she said, "I'll just buy a drink," but I'm pretty sure that she's probably going to charge us like through the roof for a drink after we've come back. So we will see, but yeah, don't know. We might be wrong. She might just charge us a normal price, and then we've got free parking. But I'm not too sure.
Yeah, I think the price is definitely built into the cost of the drink.
Yeah. So, oh well.
We got our entry tickets for the ancient capital, and they only cost 20,000 Vietnamese dong each, which is less than £1 per ticket. The entrance to the old capital is very impressive as you'll walk across a stone bridge and through a traditional gate. We then spent some time admiring the architecture and taking in the sights within the complex. The official name for this complex is Hoa Lu, and it is regarded as the first capital city of Vietnam. If you're into history, then you could hire a guide and spend hours wandering around the many tombs and temples, but for us we enjoyed how beautiful the temples were and how they've blended in with nature over time.
Okay, so that was really cool, and it only cost us 20,000 dong each, which is just under £1. So for £1, it's really worth experiencing this place. So we're continuing our journey in Ninh Binh, and we're now heading to an incredible viewpoint. So we know people who have done this before, and they've said it's absolutely amazing. So this should be really, really cool. So let's go.
Our final stop on our adventure takes us to Mua Cave Viewpoint. It took around half an hour on the motorbike to reach the viewpoint, and along the way we met some friends. Driving a motorcycle in Asia is never easy, but when you're having to share the road with water buffalo, it makes it that little bit harder. Nevertheless, we navigated our way through and parked up. We then went to get our tickets, where we paid 100,000 dong per person to enter the Mua Cave area, which is just over £3 each. Immediately after entering, we were greeted with incredible views over these beautiful lily pads, where lots of tourists were taking advantage of how photogenic the scenery was. We then walked for another 5 minutes before getting our first view of the steps up to the viewpoint.
Okay, so we've made it to the area, and the viewpoint is all the way up there. But first, we're just admiring the view because it is so beautiful around here. Alright, so we're just about to attempt to walk to the top of the viewpoint. It looks like a good few steps, probably about 300-400 steps, and it's very hot.
Yes.
Very hot.
Really
So wish us luck, and we'll see you at the top.
We immediately knew that the views from the top were going to be breathtaking, but when it's 35 degrees and extremely humid, we also knew it wasn't going to be an easy hike. The hike up to the viewpoint was busy and everyone looked just as hot as we felt. You'll have to conquer 500 steps to reach the top, but as soon as we did, it was all worth it. You'll be treated with the most incredible panoramic views over Ninh Binh, and you can even spot the boats that we were cruising down the river on at the start of this vlog. We spent some time recovering from the heat and admiring how beautiful Ninh Binh is from above, before calling it a day and heading back to our homestay. Our time in Ninh Binh has been incredible, and we urge anyone who's visiting Vietnam to add it to your itinerary, as it's been one of our favourite places that we've visited. Thank you so much for watching our first YouTube video, and don't forget to subscribe, as we'll be visiting some very exciting places on our travels.